Look at
Hey,
us.
what's up, everybody? Man, so this is Wrestling Wednesday. We were sitting here doing some little technical adjustments here, trying to get
Right?
trying to get the everybody's page linked up with the broadcast. But Aaron Rose is here with me, and you see our special guest tonight. They call him the Sauce, Alex Zane. What's up, man?
I'm just living it, loving it. You know, doing my best to stay sane, like I was telling Aaron a minute ago, during these trying times.
Yeah, I've been
How
hearing
are
a
we
lot
doing?
about you, man. You got a rumble going on over there in New Japan, and obviously here in the independent wrestling scene. Aaron is a big
Obstacle.
fan of yours
Obstacle.
as well.
Thank you, Aaron.
How
Yes, sir.
how did you get started in wrestling?
Oh man, it's kind of like a whole life of just being around it and doing it and just hitting my friends with cookie sheets and whatever. But as far back as I can remember, I was a wrestling fan, and then like sometime in grade school, me and a friend linked up and started doing the backyard thing, and then that just kind of fueled the fire, and it just kept progressing. Then probably around, I think I was around 16, I found a local place, which in Kentucky you can't wrestle like legally until you're 18.
Right.
So I found a place because at the time the laws were different and stuff, and you could train before being licensed and stuff. Now you got to be licensed to even train. Um, so I was training at 16, and then debuted when I was 18. So yeah, so I debuted in January of 2005 in the local scene, and then did a little bit locally, not much. I was much smaller and much less focused, and then I got out of it for a while. I did music for a while, and then um, I reemerged, so to speak, and started doing a little more with some friends of mine who run a company, one in Tennessee called Resolute Wrestling, one in Seattle called 321 Battle. And I was doing just kind of one off type of shots with them, wrestling a few times a month at best. And I was doing marketing at the time, and I decided, like, you know what, I'm going to go all in on this wrestling thing. And April of last year, I just started taking every booking that would have me. I didn't care about like what they were paying. Half the time I didn't even discuss it. I didn't even discuss a payday or anything, and I was just like, "Let's go!" And luckily, it it popped off before I went broke trying to starve myself to make it or whatever. And July 4th, shout out to GCW. I did the backyard wrestling event, and the rest is history. That was like a crazy day for me.
So
So for
go
those of
ahead,
you who
Aaron.
don't know about that, for those of you who don't know, the infamous move that set you off, I think, was the it was a 630 senton from the mat over the top rope onto his
Mm-hmm.
opponent on a door, and it went viral. I swear, I've never seen I've never seen something go viral that quick too. Because
It was, yeah,
I
it
saw
was
like
very
four
surprising for
angles.
me.
Yeah, there's
Right,
like
right,
four angles, and they all got shared.
right.
So
And I didn't know
and
any
and
of it had happened yet. Like I just kept like, of course I knew like angles had like hit Twitter and stuff like that, but as far as the virility of it, like, because I went right back to watching the show and watching the rest of the boys just do their thing, and I was like, had no idea anything had even popped off. And then next thing you know, I grabbed my phone after the show, and like friends had texted me screenshots of Shima and Will Ospreay and whoever sharing it, and I was just like, "What is happening?" And then my girlfriend had texted me, and she said, "What did you do? Like, you broke the internet." I was like, "Okay." So, and then it was just this whole shock, and me trying to just keep up with it. And we got in the car like shortly after the show. I think we hung out for probably 30 minutes, and then we hopped in the car to make the next town. It was like a 12, 13-hour drive. And they're like, "Oh, we got to go right now." And I was like, "I don't care. Like, someone else is driving first round because I got Twitter to do. I got tweeting to do." So it was a wild day. Yeah.
And as they would say, the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah. Here we are now. Now I'm sitting on podcasts and stuff, which is not something that would have typically happened before. So
Yeah, so when you're out there and you're performing, doing show after show after show, how often do you see like some of the bigger promoters come to those shows to kind of scout you guys?
Um, sometimes it's like them directly. Sometimes it's kind of like a person that I think it's they don't want you to necessarily know who it is. It's kind of hard to keep things low key these days.
Right.
But they'll just have like somebody come in um, and then you'll just hear like people saying, "Oh, like one of so and so's guys or one of whatever company's guys are out in the audience," and you don't know who's who. you know,
Yeah.
which was funny actually before things like went crazy. I had a great opportunity wrestling for a company called Pizza Party Wrestling last WrestleMania like week, and it was like the first show of that week. It was on a Wednesday, and it was the only show that I did at the time on WrestleMania week because things weren't like huge for me or anything. And it's friends of mine who were booking the show, and they were gracious enough to book me against Robbie Eagles. And because there was other things happening, New Japan things happening, and all that in uh, the same area that weekend, one of the New Japan reps was there because he knew Robbie Eagles, and he was just going to kind of tweet or post about his match or whatever. And so that got me quite a bit of buzz right there. That was kind of like a precursor to all this crazy stuff happening, just a few months later. So, and that was right around the time that I had quit my day job and went full throttle. So
So what do they
crazy
do? I
times.
mean, do they basically pull you aside and say, "Hey, we want you to come do some dark matches or something like that, to get your foot in the
In
door?"
my experience, like with that, for example, I ended up not even meeting the guy. I think he had to like head out or something. And then Robbie Eagles comes and tells me, "Hey, yeah, so and so with New Japan was here." And he was like, "I didn't tell you before the match because I didn't want it to like get in your head or whatever." And I was like, "Wow, okay, crazy." And then that night I was sitting there like sleeping before my drive back south the next day, and friends of mine had like screenshotted that a post of ours had made it like I don't know, I was in like an armbar or something. Uh, it was on the New Japan Instagram, and so all sorts of my brothers in the wrestling scene were like writing me like, "Holy shit, you're on Instagram, New Japan's Instagram and stuff." So that was crazy.
Aaron?
Yeah, with now with that kind of after July 4th and from there on out, we started seeing you pop up in places like Ring of Honor, and we saw, of course, you had the U.S. tour of New Japan
Mm-hmm.
Pro Wrestling, and things after that just kept going and going and going. And talk to me about your experiences with Ring of Honor and New Japan, and just the connections you've made, and how what doors have been opened in that way. What are people saying?
It's crazy, It's like you, of course, from an indie perspective and stuff, you go in and it feels like such a insane thing that you're even there, that you're even in the locker room and stuff like that. But then you get there, and I think it's different than like you almost overhype yourself, not in the sense that the show is less or anything, but in the sense that the locker room is such like this awesome family atmosphere, and everyone's so welcoming, and you're just like, wait, this is no, I thought I was going to get hazed, and like everyone was going to just like grunt as they passed me, like, oh, get out of here, greenhorn, whatever. And so it was real interesting, like everyone in on like for both of those companies, everyone's super just like, I don't know, positive, and like I don't know, like because I when I first worked with Ring of Honor, I worked Bandito, and meet Bandito for the first time, and like that was like one of the most positive guys. And I like, not that I don't expect people to be positive, but it was just like like a whole weird thing for like it was like wait, this is almost. I mean, they're better atmospheres 100% than like a lot of the uh, independent locker rooms. Not all of them. A
Uh-huh.
lot of the independent locker rooms are awesome. GCW has an awesome locker room. Black Label Pro, where all the guys are just there to have a great show versus politic and do the dramatic thing.
Right, right. And you're
So
talking, in talking about that too, about other locker rooms and stuff like that, and some of the other promotions you worked with. I feel like one of the most unique venues that I've seen you wrestle in had to be, well, a couple of them. One of them isn't standing, unfortunately, right now. Basement East in Nashville.
R.I.P. Basement
Um,
East.
yeah. So, such a cool looking venue. I planned on trying to come down and check out a Game Changer show next time they had popped in there,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
then when you were working with Pro Wrestling Gorilla,
Mm-hmm.
the theater they're in, that looks just like an
The
amazing
globe,
venue.
yeah, it's super cool,
Yeah.
and the acoustics and stuff in it are super cool too. Because I guess it was made for more of that. And just the setup that they have there is super super rad. Um, I was supposed to already be back with PWG. I had a show that I was supposed to do. Well, I don't remember the day. It was the first or something, April something. I don't remember. And
Mhm.
then I was supposed to do another one at the beginning of May. And here we are. Not a lot of
We're all
wrestling
just
on my
twiddling our
calendar.
thumbs.
All right,
Yeah.
just.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I was really looking forward to that just because it's such a I don't know, the atmosphere at PWG is so electric. I think just the anticipation from the audience thinking this is about to be the craziest show I've ever seen or whatever it is, or just and it's like this kind of like a party and kind of like a I don't know. It's interesting. They've cultivated quite the atmosphere there, and it's great.
When you were doing ROH, what was it like working alongside Kevin Kelly and guys like that?
Oh man, like everyone, like I said, is they're super professional, but at the same time, like super chill and humble. And it's like everyone there is just the type of person that'll walk by and give you an attaboy on your match, or ask you how you're feeling and all that sort of thing. So it's crazy that because you see these people on TV and you kind of have this thing in your head where like celebrities are like jerks or whatever. um, yeah, everyone's super cool, super cool. And just seeing the way that they go about things, obviously in a super professional way, but like in this, it's just like, oh, you all just like every other like wrestler, you're just like really good. That's it.
Who's some of the toughest guys you've faced in the squared circle?
Oh man, tough boys, jerks. That's what I call them. Lance Archer, can't seem to beat that guy. I've wrestled him twice. Did not win. I did not win. I will. I'll beat him eventually. I know he's signed to AEW right now, so maybe we got to wait till that's over. Maybe I got to show up there. I don't know. One way or another, I'll smack him around a little bit. I've been like a fly in his ointment or whatever that means for a long time. Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's tall and has crazy hair and stuff, so that's always a thing.
And he launched Marco Stunt into the other side of the railing in his
Yeah,
debut.
that was good. The craziest thing I saw in that match, and I feel like everything got gift that I saw, but I didn't see this get gift, and I was like, how did that not get? I don't even know what he did. He did some sort of weird twirling helicopter power slam gimmick and just threw him on his face, and it just looked like it hurt a lot, and I was very impressed with that.
Poor Marco.
Poor Marco. Poor Marco. I need to retweet the live stream on Twitter. That's a thing I need to do. So let me do that.
So,
but anyway, yeah.
Speaking of Twitter, I'm sitting here looking at at your Twitter page, and I can't help but notice, and I think Aaron had touched on this a little bit, but man, what was that, a 630 splash? I mean,
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that originally went viral.
I'm gonna put this out there. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna show your
Yeah.
Twitter page. Yeah,
No, don't
this.
show my clips, people. Don't look at that.
so, so you'll see. My
That was
goodness.
the one. That was the one that did it. That changed everything right there. Crazy.
I mean, you pin this guy easily after that. You put him through a door, basically off 2 chairs.
In classic GCW fashion, he did go through a door. That's Tony Deppen. He's the man. He's a lot of the reason that things are the way that they are as well now. So shout out to Tony Deppen. That's the brother. But I'll still do another flip on you if you ever talk smack, sir.
Where do you get your athletic ability from? Mom, dad?
Neither of them have an athletic background at all. I think they're both just hyperactive, which is, I got that. And then they bought me a trampoline when I was like 15, 16. And I was already backyard wrestling, and so I was already doing some flips, but I only had the ground to work off of. So I didn't have, I didn't get that courage up to really do crazy things yet. And then, yeah, I got a trampoline. Forget about it. This thing doesn't break my neck as easy. Let's go. So, yeah.
You definitely encouraging me not to let my 10-year-old have a trampoline right now.
I just went and got another one actually because I didn't. I just felt like sitting at home so much. Yeah, so I hopped on Marketplace and was like, I gotta keep my flips. So I found a trampoline. I went and picked it up at like 11 o'clock at night, like an hour from my house. Drove it home, had it set up by 1 a.m. It was great.
Who's one guy you would like to wrestle that you haven't yet?
Oh man, there's so many. There's so many people I'd like to wrestle that I haven't yet, but I want to. Will Ospreay. I think that's the one. That's Will Ospreay of New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's the one people are clamoring about. There may or may not have been a little something in the works there for this past WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, they already announced that it was supposed to be me, Blake Christian, and Will Ospreay in a triple threat match at Joey Janela's Spring Break in Tampa, and that did not happen because viruses are stupid and I hate them. So
as do we all.
It's kind of grounded everybody right now. But some of the bigger promotions are still wrestling without crowds. Do you guys have any plans to do that as well?
I know a couple of companies did it like early on when the pandemic first hit. GCW did a show. I'm trying to remember who all did. There's a few people out there that do a show. Freelance had planned to do a show. So did Black Label Pro. But once they really tightened down on like groups over 10 or whatever, it might have been different in different states, but that's what it was here. And once they tightened up on that, like the companies were like, look, it's not like a good decision to go forward with these crowdless shows. It's different, when you're a publicly traded company and you got TV time to fill and stuff like that. Like you're more obligated versus us on the indie scene who can afford to take it off. Maybe I don't know if that's the right thing to say. I don't know if we can afford it. I want tacos. But
I was going to say, speaking of the tacos, I was told that, pretty much every move that you do is named after something on the menu at Taco Bell.
Yeah, if I can find a way to call something a Taco Bell menu item, then I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. You got Taco Driver, Cinnamon Twist, Crunch Wrap, Baja Blast, Moon Sauce, which I know that's not on the menu, but it should be Moon Sauce. There's more. Oh, Pele Locos.
Nice.
There's more. There's plenty.
Pele Kick is what you're calling the Pele Locos?
Yeah. Mine's a little different. Right. Some of the people probably may know that it's slightly different. I do a little spinny boy out of it, but
yeah, I was going to say you got a flip in that too, don't you?
Yeah. I do like the back flip kinda, and then I kick them, and then I do a front flip. I don't know. I don't know what happens. I just throw myself and put my leg out there and say, "Where's your head at?" I kick them in the head. I jump in the air when I find their head. I kick it. That's pretty much that's my
There it
wrestling.
is.
Here you go, Pele Locos for you.
So growing up and watching wrestling on TV, who was one of the guys that you really, admired growing up? And
I admired like several different people for like different reasons. Of course, like Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho, The Rock, Stone Cold, all those guys, Shawn Michaels and stuff. But I was like, as far as my own personal style and what I feel like it's influenced me, um, was like these more reckless guys, is what I call them. They had like a real reckless style, like Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, Hayabusa. And then once I had like first it was like of course WWE or WWF at the time, WCW, and then I saw some ECW, and that like just made me want to go outside and throw myself through things, you know. And I was like, hey, my bigger friend than me, throw me through whatever we can find. Like actually, we were going and we went to construction sites and took like the leftover scrap wood out of the dumpster, and we were just taking it home and just throwing each other through it. And then after that is when another friend of ours who we met in this roundabout way for backyard wrestling, we got together and he was like, have you ever seen independent wrestling? Have you ever seen Japanese wrestling? And then he showed me both of those, and it got dangerous. Things have gotten dangerous.
there's a lot of independent wrestling organizations, especially here in Kentucky. You can go just about in
Yeah.
every town and find one.
Yeah. Wrestling's booming right now for sure.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit about breaking into the business. What was the first promotion that you ended up wrestling with?
The first promotion, they're who I trained with and then initially debuted for, was CWA, and I think it was Central Wrestling Alliance. But I had trained with them probably, like I said, the better part of 2 years. It wasn't quite 2 years, but it was like a year and some change, whatever. And then I debuted with them, and I originally debuted under a mask and all that stuff, under the name Hypnotico, and they said they billed me from Mexico, Tijuana, maybe, I don't know, something like that. And I did this whole little like lucha libre style gimmick. I had no idea how to do lucha libre. It was a total insult to their sport. Because they're like that, the art form of lucha style wrestling is incredible. So I was really out there just making an embarrassment of myself and just being like a little scrawny white kid in a I think it was a Ultimo Dragon mask I was wearing at the time.
Nice.
So and that, yeah, like I said, was in 2005, and I think I wrestled maybe 4 or 5 shows with them, and then we showed up for training, or maybe it was a show one day, and they were like, "Yeah, we're done." Like no one was even at the building. We had to make some phone calls. We're already there, and it was like 45 minutes from the house or something. And we're there. We're like, "What's going on? Like you are late. We're trying to set up this ring because that's what we do." And yeah, they were like, go home. We don't do it anymore. I was like, why didn't you tell us this days ago? Why do we have to drive here? This sucks. And then we wrestled. Then a friend of ours started, like, some guys from that company got together with like a friend of ours dad, who was like, he was part of the backyard thing, my backyard fed, that was publicly traded company at the time. But he got together with them, and then they built a company, and he was kind of like the business end of it, and they were kind of more the wrestling and creative end of it. And that was they had a 6-sided wrestling ring. That was the first thing that they bought, which is like, all right, let's 6-sided it is, okay. And it was called KIA. Yeah, so which you can probably,
Yeah.
I remember seeing some of those videos floating around on YouTube.
Yeah, I still have videos of me, I'm sure, out there of me being just scrawny and green and floppy arms, just flopping my arms. That's my thing. You don't take that from me.
You got quite the impressive list of just videos. If you do a Google search, for example, I mean, I gotta result of 10,700 videos out there of you. That's pretty
That's
impressive.
what I like to hear. There is, however, it's spelled slightly different, but there's a comedian. I think he's like British or something. His name's Alex Zane, but it's Zane. And I know that videos come up for him too when you search my name. So people probably look at it and like, you're a comedian and you look totally different at one point, and you're like a couple of years older than you are, and you're from Great Britain.
And I think it's fair that we put the rumor to rest too that you're not any kin to Sami Zayn.
I'm not. There's a slight, I got an E on the end of my name, and that may or may not be his real name. It's my real name. So get out of here. Gimmick infringement from my backyard days. Which back when I was backyarding, I was just Zane. I was just Zane. I didn't even use the whole Alex thing. It didn't have any Z's in it, or it didn't sound extreme.
When you're at the shows that where you got the big video boards and things like that, and then your TV cameras are right there, ringside and in your face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there something that you do to prepare yourself for those kind of matches, or how does that all work?
I kind of prepare myself for any match, just kind of mentally. Like I take a minute, like after I get everything ironed out backstage, and I'm geared up, and I've probably doused myself in water because I don't know, it hypes me up to just pour cold water on my head. I wish it didn't work because I don't like pouring cold water on my head, but yeah, that's one of the things I do is I pour cold water on my head, and then I pace. I'm just pacing back and forth, and I'm doing a couple breathing exercises to get oxygen in my body and get my mind focused, and then I start really honing in a meditative way on like the moment. I'm listening to any sound I can hear, whether it's my feet or the crowd or the music or the whatever, and I'm just trying to like get as in the present moment as I can right before my music hits. And then my music hits and I jump up in the air and I say, "Let's go!"
Hey,
And everyone boos.
You said something there, that's pretty important that a lot of not only wrestlers but a lot of athletes do before big time games and matches and things like that is, the secret is the cold water and the breathing exercises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't even know. Like I found out more about the cold water, like being like an actual tactic for other people. Like for me, it was just like a way to wake myself up. Like if I didn't have the energy, because a lot of times I've just drove 13 hours into a show and stayed up all night and walked straight into the venue and put my gear on for my stinky bag, and so you're dead. You're dead, and you've exhausted all your energy drink options because you don't want your heart to explode. So
Yeah.
cold water. That's the next best thing. Yeah.
So I'm looking over here on the Twitter right now, and we've got some people certainly commenting on what's going on. So we're going to actually open that up if you don't mind, and you still got some time. Alex is
absolutely, yeah, I'm good to go.
I can pull the tweets into the broadcast, so we need a hashtag. What would you like your
we need
hashtag?
a hashtag. Hashtag Body by Taco Bell. That's me.
Hashtag Body by Taco Bell. So you heard it. Yeah, so I'll put that up on the screen here, and we'll see if we get some people out on social media. Of course, the good stuff. If you want to ask Alex Zane, the sauce.
Ask me terrible questions. Yeah.
And
yeah, I even caught myself a minute ago. I said some sort of obscenity, and I was like, I didn't ask. I didn't ask beforehand. I try to ask on podcasts before I'm out here, just yapping off curse words.
So you're into you're into music too. What kind of music are you singing?
I was doing hip hop for several years. Yeah.
I see that
I don't
on
even
your.
know how many. Yeah, I got music videos and things on the YouTube as well. But yeah, it's kind of taking a back seat. Just rhyming words, just and trying to do it fast sometimes. Just fast word rhyming.
I'm working on pulling up some of these tweets. Again, use that hashtag. What's the hashtag again?
Hashtag Body by Taco Bell.
Body by Taco Bell.
That's right.
Right.
Body by
All right,
Taco
so
Bell.
we got to ask you, Alex. We got to ask you, what is your absolute favorite go-to dish at Taco Bell?
My favorite go-to dish they removed from Taco Bell. Every time someone asks me this, I have to preface with that because how dare you? How dare you take this from me? Um, which that was the double XL grilled stuffed burrito steak. That was my
Oh,
go-to.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, they took that off of me. I don't know why. Why'd they do that? Some of the stuff I get, there's no way they weren't selling those because I was buying them, and I eat so much Taco Bell. I was bumping those numbers up. I was getting those numbers up, and I was keeping their lights on with just a burrito a day or two. You know.
So we took a little trick from you that you've mentioned to numerous other people. The
Yeah.
loaded potato griller with beef.
Yes. Throw the
Yeah,
beef on there.
yeah, that's great. That's great.
Beef it up. Sometimes I throw the chicken on there. That's
I haven't
quality
tried the
stuff.
chicken.
Sometimes you just want a lean protein.
Right,
Yeah, throw the chicken on there too.
right.
Yeah, good stuff. High quality. Taco Bell. What about you guys? What's your go-to Taco Bell? If we were going to Taco Bell right now, what would you be eating? I'm about to judge you. To
um, for me, it'd be the steak quesarito.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't eaten a whole lot of steak quesadillas. Of course, I tried them because they came out of Taco Bell, so I had to. But
Right.
yeah, they're real solid. I like the steak at Taco Bell, which is weird to say out loud.
So I always, I'm a big fan of the Mexican pizza. I'm kind of simple, man, but I
Man,
love it.
yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
It's classic.
Like, yeah, that's a staple item of the Taco Bell menu. It's one of those things where I'm like, they come messing with the menu, and I'm like, you better not. You can take some of these weird things you got on here off of there, but don't go messing with the classics. You take the Mexican
Okay,
pizza off, you might as well take a burrito off of it.
so is the trademark drink for you the Baja Blast as well?
Yeah, that's pretty much my go-to. Sometimes I sneak in a Mountain Dew or Pepsi, just switch it up, because I might have had, I don't know, Taco Bell the day before. What happened there? There's some sort of pop-up. That's it. I
That's the
can't read that.
social. Yeah, that's the social.
Oh,
That's
So
okay.
awesome. You all
so
can do that.
we
Look at that.
man, we
My
got
head.
all kinds of capabilities here. Yeah.
Yes.
So again, if you guys want to use the social media tag body by Taco Bell, body by
Body
Taco
by
Bell.
Taco Bell.
So
I should have
have,
worn my Body by Taco Bell shirt.
have you ever talked to those guys about sponsoring you?
I have not actually. I tweet at them a lot because I'm always talking about Taco Bell. So maybe they probably got me muted at this point. They're probably like, I don't even want to hear from this guy. Yeah, I have not reached out about a sponsorship. I probably should. I'm one of those person. I got to come with leverage. So building the namesake, and then I'll come for that check eventually.
I'm
You're
looking on
gonna
your I'm looking on your Twitter again. You've got 18,500 fans on there. That's pretty daggone good
Woo.
cut.
right now.
Yeah, thank you,
Sorry,
Twitter. Thank you for making me
followers.
look good. Followers, fans, followers. Yeah, a lot of them maybe hate me. I don't even know. Maybe. Um, there's a lot of drama been going on my Twitter recently. Got someone saying mean things about me, got them stealing from me, we got them attacking me while I'm trying to eat Taco Bell. I'll find you. You're gonna give me my belt back.
Tanner
Wait,
Majors. Tanner Majors is watching tonight. He wants to give you a shout out.
What's up, Tanner? Yes, thank you, Tanner Majors. What's up? Does he got a question or is it just hello?
He just says, Alex Zane's going to be the champ one day.
Yes, I am. I am going to be a champion. I'm going to be every champion. Thank you, Tanner, for the vote of confidence.
So random question: what's this about you and a Big Mac?
Oh man, that was a very doctored video. That was total just fabrication. That was, I had already eaten the Taco Bell, right? He just got and then I just also wanted a Big Mac. What's wrong with that? What is wrong
There's
with that?
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I just got a lift in and I wanted to eat.
Alex, I'm going to give you something that I think that you'll really, really enjoy. Every guest that's on our podcast gets some of our beef jerky here from Mingy Beef Jerky.
Oh, you all are sponsored by Mingy?
We are sponsored by Mingy Beef Jerky. They're our
That
title
is so cool
sponsor.
because they are so delicious.
What's your favorite
Oh,
flavor?
The teriyaki. I'm a teriyaki guy.
All right,
Every time.
I don't have any teriyaki here in studio. We got
You got any of the
barbecue.
spicy?
I got the
Oh,
barbecue. Oh yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
even think I've tried their
Look.
barbecue.
Sweet and hot.
Sweet and hot. That's
Look
the
at
one
this.
right there.
We got just the hot.
That's the hot. That might be too much for me. I get all teary eyed. Is that Cajun?
That's the Cajun.
I have not tried the Cajun. Yeah,
Oh man,
I need to try that.
It's good. All of it's good.
Yeah, all of it's good. I haven't had bad mingy. Actually, that's one of the things. There's like this whole care package that I have when I go to California because my brothers, well, my biological brother and my brother, because I said so, they live out there now, and I take them a care package of all these Kentucky favorites, that they miss now that they live out there. So I take them Mingy, I take them some beer cheese, I take them some L8, of course, and then I get Grippos, which that's not a Kentucky thing. It's Cincinnati, but we get it.
It's close
in stores. Yeah, it's close enough. It's just over the water, right? So
right. Yeah, I'll tell you what. The other day, AL8 was doing a care package for all their Winchester citizens. So
that's
I kind of
awesome.
jumped in on that. Got the
Yes.
They get like a 24 pack and all kinds of little L8 type gifts that they gave. So like magnets.
They need to do that here in Lexington. I would be all over that. I'm gonna move to Winchester.
If
we got a room,
Yeah, right.
If you put together a survival pack, what would that consist of?
Oh man, I feel like I would be really bad at that and probably die because I packed like all these perishables, like nothing was in a can. Like, why'd you bring all fresh fruit and veggies? Which that's a thing. Almost every night, me and the lady, we make like a veggie and fruit plate. It's just our thing. It's our nightly ritual. We just cut everything up, and it's this huge smorgasbord. Is that the word I should be using? I don't know. I like using it. Of just fruits and veggies, and it's great. Mountain of it. So I wouldn't pack that though in a survival package because that would just go bad immediately. Man, I guess I would have to just get L8 would definitely have to be in there. That's essential. That's essential. Beef jerky, I feel like that would go the distance in the longevity.
Oh yeah.
So what else would be in a survival pack? So yeah, I told you I'd be bad at this. I'd already be dead. What am I eating? Beef jerky and L8. That's never gonna work. Water. Is that the right answer? Maybe.
Everybody needs water. Everybody
needs water.
Yeah, I got me a lot of water. I'm drinking the Bay tonight.
Oh, the Bay. That's right. Nice.
Never heard of it.
Fiji guy.
Yeah, they had this on sale up at Sam's. I was like, man, might as well get it.
I'm a Fiji guy, and it's only because of the shape of the bottle. The bottle shape gets me every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't even fit in my cup holder. Totally irrational decision. Can't resist. Yeah. Can't resist spending that $3.50 on a bottle of water.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
Sorry, man. What's your favorite city to visit?
Oh man, so many cool cities. Tons of dope cities. Of course, I love LA because that's like a second home to me. Big fan of Pittsburgh. Got a lot of might as well be family friends there.
I would think you're probably like a Vegas guy or something too, right?
I just hit Vegas for the first time, and I didn't even really get to experience it because that was the day. Because I was in Vegas with ROH, and that's the day that they were like, "Hey, this is a pandemic now. You're not allowed to do anything." And I was like, "Man."
Oh man.
And I was there for a whole weekend.
Where you guys set up out there for ROH?
What was that?
Sam's Town.
Sam's Town. Yeah, Sam's Town. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we were set up in Sam's Town. It was super cool. The whole thing was cool. Luckily, they had enough restaurants and stuff in the hotel that I could really just survive it.
You
The lockdown. We weren't locked down in the hotel. Like we went out and stuff like that, and everything hadn't gotten quite as crazy as it is, of course. But yeah, that was the first day that they announced it was a pandemic, and I was like, man, I don't get to wrestle now.
Wow.
Yeah,
our boy over here, Aaron, he actually got to call some play-by-play hockey out there at T-Mobile Arena a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he did. Yeah. We talked about that, and he went there on a little business trip, won a
Yeah.
bunch of money, didn't share any of it. Yeah, no, I know him. Yeah, I wanted to like gamble and all that. I didn't get to do. I mean, I could have because they had the casino right there, but I don't know. I just locked myself in the room with like a lot of pizza
Yeah.
and just
You don't know what to expect, you know.
right.
But
And I was just
when
kind
the
of
world says
bummed out.
pandemic, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed out. I didn't get to wrestle. Bummer.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be in Vegas when a pandemic happens.
Right. It ruins the whole thing there. But I think one of my favorite cities, for sure, if not my favorite city that I have been to in the States at least, is New Orleans. Love that place. That place is cool.
Yeah.
I don't think people don't put it over enough. Put that place over. It's an awesome place.
I mean, I guess if you hang out with the right kind of ladies that are into like the ghost hunting and stuff like that. I mean, I find like the people that are into ghost hunting and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love New Orleans because of the you go out there and you see the cemeteries that are above ground. That kind of stuff.
Which is weird too, because like even with Vegas and even with New Orleans and stuff, like I don't drink, and like that's kind of like half the thing there.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not even on Bourbon Street when I'm there. I'm just in the French Quarter doing creepy things and just slinking around looking for vampires or something and having a beignet, and it's great. I love that place.
It's a great place.
Oh, some Cajun food sounds great.
Oh man, the food, that is.
Yeah.
I almost judge every place that I go on the food.
There's your Cajun.
Will I be back? There you go. Boom. There it is. Get the mingy out. Is that only a local thing? Is mingy only like how far does that go?
So yeah, they're expanding right now. I mean, they were basically here in Kentucky, but they are expanding into other states right now. So as we speak, they got plans to go into, especially in the southeast. That's
what I like to hear. I want to, sometimes you're on the road, you need some mingy. And I tell my friends in other states, hey, mingy. And they're like, what are you even saying? I don't know. What, Ming? Are you talking about Ming? I don't know. Ming. You can't chew on him. You would never allow it.
You'd die if you tried.
You would die. You would definitely die. The stories about that man, crazy.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, back to your New Orleans topic. We when I was a senior in high school, we did a band trip down there, and we one of the coolest things we got to do was our award ceremony was actually held inside the venue where they store all of the floats that they use for Mardi Gras, and they lit all the floats up. They had a dance floor, and they served some of the best Cajun food I've ever had.
That's awesome, man. The food there is crazy. Food there is crazy. I went there. I don't even know what town or city I was in. It was for a totally like unrelated thing that I was doing, and I went to some weird town. It was like 4 hours outside of NOLA, and they had one of those shacks where you just pull up in your car, get out, and say you want a pound of crawfish, and they say potatoes, corn, or both, and then they literally hand it to you in like a Kroger sack, Walmart sack, just a pound of it, and you sit in your car and you just make a mess of yourself.
That sounds like
floorboard.
That sounds like, what is that jambalaya place that's in Lexington? I can't think of it.
Oh yeah, Gumbo Yaya.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, super good. Love Gumbo
and then
Yaya.
You also have that storming crab on Nicholasville Road.
Yeah,
they serve in bags.
Yeah, I heard they changed that now. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
I think they went with the pots.
The bowls. Yeah, the metal pots.
The bowls. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm still with it. Anytime you can cook everything together, send it my way.
It's the best.
Right? The best.
So what's the next big step for you what's the next big step for you in your career right now? What would you like to accomplish?
Oh man.
That's a Twitter question, by the way.
Oh, okay. Shout out to the Twitter question. The next big thing for me that I would like to accomplish, I got different goals for different things. I got certain moves and things, as far as flips and stuff like that. I would like to accomplish. I got certain, as far as like where I want to work and what I want to do and where I want to take it and how many belts I want to hold. As far as that goes, I don't like to limit myself too much. And I feel like once I set a target, then I'm like got the blinders on, and then I might miss some opportunities out here. But I'd like to do as much as I can for sure. I'd like to do, I did a recent New Japan tour here in the States back 2 months ago now, and I'd like to tour Japan with them. I went over and toured Japan with OWE, and I did some Wrestle One, Big Japan, J Stage, and OWE shows over there, and I would like to go over with the big boy, New Japan, and so that sounds like it's in the future. So sounds like it's quite possible.
When you're talking about going over to Japan, now they wrestle in like the Tokyo Dome and things like that, right?
Yeah, they got some smaller venues and stuff like that they do. Either their house shows in, or just kind of like their more common like weekly events, or however they're running it. I mean, sometimes they're running almost a WBE style schedule where you're just daily you're in a different place, and they're running like Cork and Hall and stuff like that. They still run places like that. Yeah.
So who's the? Go ahead, Aaron. I'm gonna actually pull this up anyway.
Real quick, Cork and Hall. What's their capacity there? Capacity like 4,000 or 5,000, or
I think it's closer to. I think it's closer to like 3. It might get up around there if they're opening up the balcony, because they have a balcony too. So I'm not sure what that does to the number, the bottom line there. But
right.
Yeah, I think it's closer to like 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I was going to ask you is what do you think about all those wrestlers that were let go the other day, by the WWE?
It's a mixed feeling sort of thing. I'm always like a glass half full type of guy anyway, whatever. So, I think in a way, and if it's looked at properly, especially by the people who were directly affected, the wrestlers in question here, I think it could be just a world of opportunity for them, and it could be a world of opportunity for other people in this sort of roundabout way. So it's interesting, and it's interesting to see what'll come of it. What if things, lift up in the next couple of weeks or a month or 2 months or whenever it is, and WWE kind of feels a little more secure in their footing financially and could just scoop them right back up, or they could get picked up by a competitor, or, some of them could return to Japan or whatever. So, like Luke Gallows, like when we did the New Japan tour, we got to do like a little barbecue. It actually rained. It was rained out, but we got to go to his house and hang out and eat a bunch of stuff. So that was cool. So it was just interesting, to see, because like guys like that, yeah, I'm sure it affects them and stuff like that, but they're a hot commodity, so.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the people that I read, I was like, they're going to be fine. If I'm doing okay, they're going to be fine.
once you go and you make an appearance, and stay a while in the big promotion, the WWE, or even probably AEW, I would imagine too. I mean, even if you were let go, I'm pretty sure that you could probably make a living off just going to like Comic-Con and signing autographs and things like that.
Oh yeah, a lot of times, yeah, and a lot of people make, depending on just their career overall, they're even doing that. Several independent people that have had runs on these major promotions are even doing some Comic-Con type stuff just for supplementary income, stuff like that. So, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, we went to a Comic-Con down in Nashville. Well, no, I'm sorry, Knoxville. Went down there, and the majority of the people there were former wrestlers. So of course I'm in heaven down there. I'm like, man.
Right. Me too. I'm in the Comic-Con with a trunk full of action figures that I'm bringing in one by one, trying to get them signed. What a mark!
That's awesome.
Well, even nowadays, some of the wrestling promoters are kind of putting on their own conventions. Like I think one of the big ones is the Heroes and Legends promotion up in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah, I think it's
they're
really smart. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they make a whole day of it. It's a
Mhm.
convention followed by a big giant show, and stuff like that always not always, but they're starting to get really good crowds, which I could foresee some of the guys maybe just popping in there and saying, hey, I'm here for a little bit,
Right.
we're going to
Right.
sign some
Yeah.
autographs, have some fun, just to kind of stay in a little bit before the next big thing comes calling.
Absolutely. And kind of alluding back to what you were saying earlier, you were asking uh, how do we get approached and stuff like that at these shows or whatever. Well, most of it comes after the fact. They kind of let it digest for sometimes days, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, and then they reach out to you
Right.
of social media, Twitter, DM, Instagram, or your booking email or whatever. So I'm sure all the people that were let go have quite the interesting inbox right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
sure I'm sure they're not dying for offers.
you were talking about
Right.
you were talking, Aaron, about some of the promoters starting to do their own like Comic Con type thing. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
WrestleFest is a perfect example. What Vince put
Hmm.
together because
Right.
he was losing so much money. He'd go do these WrestleManias, and then somebody else would have his wrestlers show up to do these autograph signings
Right.
and things. So he just come up with this WrestleFest thing, and
Yeah, he's going to want his cut.
Fan
That's for sure,
access.
all the time.
yeah, it kind of took
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Right.
So, um, there was something else I was going to ask you, and I totally just went brain dead on on that. Don't you hate when you
Sounds
do
like
that?
me. Yeah, I do that all the time. Too many headshots, I think.
Aaron, go ahead. I gotta spend my old folk time and think about it for a second.
Well, let me ask you this. Right before the pandemic started, you had suffered a pretty rad ankle injury, and now obviously you're feeling better and stuff. But uh,
Thankfully,
the
at
the
least.
move the move that in which that happened. Have you started to rethink it? Are you still gonna try to do it, or are you gonna lay off that one for a while?
First thing, like it's always been a thing with me anyway. Like in a way, it kind of feels like, man, that it got the best of me. So like I have to go do it now. Like I have to
Right.
go pull it off and like be fine from it. Otherwise, it's just gonna gnaw at the back of my head, just like, you suck. I'm gonna hurt your foot forever. Yeah, which it was actually my foot. Not that that's
Hmm.
super important, but
Oh, foot. Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I mean, yeah, same. Everything hurt at the time, so I didn't know what was going
Right.
on. I was just in pain, and somebody helped, uh, which I don't know what people were gonna do because I like they gave me some sort of prescription, but I never even got it filled. I don't know what it was even because I told them like I don't take stuff. So like if I take some sort of narcotic based painkiller or something, I feel like it's just gonna wipe me out. I'll just be done. So
Yeah.
um, so yeah, that was just I was fortunate there was a guy on Twitter and I don't know if he wants to be named or anything, but shout out to him that wrote me and was like, look, I got this like weird ice machine therapy thing that I'll just send you. And I was like, what? Because then I looked them up and they are not cheap items whatsoever. And he sent me this thing, and it was like a machine that you put the ice in, and you put some water in it, and then it's got like this tubing that goes into this pad, and then the pad you wrap around whatever body part you need iced, and then you just turn it on, and you can just, it's not like an ice pack where it's just gonna melt. In a way, I guess it does melt, but it's so um, like well treated, like the whole thing is like keeps it cool for so much longer, and you can sit there for hours and just ice your foot or whatever,
Oh wow.
your ego and stuff. Yeah, so shout out to him because that healed me up really well. Yeah,
Now,
ego is still in question because I haven't hit the move yet, but we'll see. I'll put that ice machine on it. We'll
now,
get there.
does wrestlers do they have the access to some of the some of the really good therapy, like for example, we're in the BGO studio, Bluegrass Orthopedics, right? So they got some of the best
Right.
stuff in town. So I have to name drop them, of course. But
Yes, yes.
what kind of access do you have to like orthopedic care and that type of thing?
On the independent scene, uh, it would really be up to you and your insurance. For me, being like independent wrestling is my only gig, insurance is not on the table for me, so it's just a risky business, right? Like my orthopedic stuff is me at the house just wiping my tears away. That's as
Yeah.
therapeutic as it gets. A lot of times I was hitting a chiropractor for a while, um, and that was helping a lot with just some nagging stuff or whatever. But uh, for the most part, just hope you don't get hurt unless you get that signature, boys. Stay safe.
Understandable.
Wear your mask. Sanitize your hands.
Aaron Rose, I think we got about 6 more minutes. Well, about 5 more minutes left here to fill. If you
Sweet.
still got enough time there, Alex. And
I got plenty of time. Yeah.
yeah, so Aaron, I know you guys are pretty good friends. Talk to each other quite often. How
Aaron
did you
makes a
guys
mean
meet?
chicken wing.
Yeah. Um, golly, when did we meet? It
Was it
it was about '07, I think,
07? Yeah. I'm trying to
and
remember which show it was.
it was in Lawrenceburg.
Hmm.
It was the SWN, I believe.
Right.
I think you and Mondelli were together for
Yeah,
that night,
Mondelli. Yeah, we
and
did. Yeah. So
and
that was
another
their
good
first
friend,
show.
Bobby Blade, was there too.
What up, Bobby Blade? Been a while. Haven't seen him in some time. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
I know. He's hard to get a hold of these days. Um, and it went from there to we just kind of kept in touch, and then we lost touch for a little bit, and we kind of popped back into each other's lives. I guess it was Pro Wrestling Freedom down in Corbin back in 2012,
hmm
2013,
hmm
and
Yeah.
we just kind of stayed in touch ever since,
Yeah, and then I
and
started doing a couple PTW dates here with Larry
right.
D and stuff, and then and that kind of just revamped everything. And then we were just kind of like,
Yeah.
"Yo, let's watch wrestling and eat chicken wings."
Larry's got quite the promotion over there. I think he's on to something
Yeah,
over
he's
there
doing
with that.
well. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I like it there a lot. I don't get to hit it as often as I would like, just because the travel and stuff like that, and it's crazy. But yeah, they're definitely, like, I'd say easily. I'm not trying to offend anyone out there on the Kentucky indie scene, but I'd say they're easily one of the top companies in Kentucky, not if not the top. Like as far as top to bottom show goes, like I think they're all really creative. Everybody there's really hungry. They got a lot of good talent there, a
Mhm.
lot of underrated talent there. So
Yeah.
yeah, love it there. Another
Lots of
really cool locker room. All the boys there are cool. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Were you
William, what else?
yeah, just real quick, were you a ruthless aggression era, or were you the Monday Night War era?
I was Monday Night War, yeah, and then of course Ruthless Aggression too, because that was the timeline. But so I guess they both played like a big role just because of like that being. I was like ideally right in that time frame. Like I really switched over during the Monday Night War. I switched over during the Mankind winning the title on Raw, and that was just the rest of the Attitude Era played out there, and then
Yeah,
Ruthless Aggression, of course. Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah.
not
I
too
guess that
long
would be the
after
correct
that.
definition, the Attitude Era. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and then what was it before that? The Superstars, right? It was the Superstar era, right?
yeah, they were doing like the
New
PG thing.
new generation. Is that what it was?
Is that what they were calling it? Beats me. I like existed through all that, but I was more of a fickle fan at the time. I wasn't as consistent. It grabbed a hold of me maybe in like fourth or fifth grade and would not let go.
Speaking
I
of,
want to say it was you had the Hogan era, and then after that, I think that's when
Hmm.
they went into the new generation, and
Yeah,
then
kind of.
Attitude from there. Yeah,
Yeah, you kind of had like Bret Hart, I guess, would have been the face at the time,
right.
and yeah, yeah.
Well,
for
man,
sure.
this has been fun, Alex.
Yeah, I had a great time. Let's
You,
do it again.
Yeah,
Especially
absolutely,
if
man.
Mingy's involved, you know?
Hey, we'll send you a bag of Mingy. I'm gonna send you the sweet and hot.
Absolutely.
Sound like that was the one
Hey,
you
let's
wanted.
do it. That's the one. Either that or the Cajun. Either one. Surprise me. Oh,
All right,
I'm going to chew on it.
all right. Yeah, just
Awesome.
get Aaron the address, and I'll make sure to send
Will
it
do.
out to
Will
you.
do. Yeah,
But
thank
yeah,
you so
man.
much, Aaron. Thanks you, William.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're awesome, man. We appreciate your time and coming on, and we know you got a busy schedule and everything, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're making everybody proud.
I will. I will. Everyone stay tuned because I'll do something that I probably shouldn't here soon. Much love. Thank you, guys. Hashtag Body by Taco Bell. It's the sauce, Alex Zane. What else should I say? Probably nothing. Shut up, Alex.
See you, Alex.
Later. Love, guys. Thanks.
See you, man.
See you, buddy.
Later. Bye.